They're both alive. Thank goodness.
Hello, and welcome back to Three Houses. We are in the aftermath of finding Flane and Monica, and before we get started, oh man. So the item that I missed in the treasure chest, like normally missing items in treasure chests is not big of a deal. And I guess arguably it still isn't here, but it's the March Ring, which is, I have to assume, is the best item in the game if you're playing for low turn count, which admittedly I'm not, but still. Sigh. Like, what was in the other one? I guess 11 sword. That is pretty good, but I would rather have one 11 sword in a March Ring than 2 11 swords easily. So that sucks. And I have regrets. Alright, onwards.
You actually found Flane? Nice work.
It is a shame you could not be there, Claude. I would have liked for you to witness our mortal struggle against the Death Knight.
Hey, at least we managed to rescue Flane and complete our mission. That's what counts, right? Right. Excellent work, everyone. Now then, let's get these limp ladies to the infirmary, shall we?
Limp ladies?
I can carry them both at once.
Be gentle with them, Raphael. Let us carry each one individually and slowly.
You know, Teach, seeing you smile sure makes me feel better. You look happy for a change. Do you really not know? Well, truth is, I've never seen you smile before now. At times, it made me wonder whether you were even human. But I suppose that was just my imagination running wild.
No, I don't think so.
Anyhow, we've probably kept
Not your
Seth waiting about
imagination
as
at
long
all.
as he can stand. Let's hurry up and tell him the great news.
Professor, please allow me to express my eternal gratitude once more. Flane is safe and sound, and I have you to thank for that. Mere words could never express how thankful I am. I am indebted to you. Yes, indeed. I too am overjoyed.
Pilot totally could have done it without the students' help. I mean, yeah, he totally could have.
Her kidnapper was the masked knight who vanished during the Rite of Rebirth. The one known as the Death Knight.
I know that. I was
Considering the
there.
circumstances, it seems plausible to assume that his true identity is Yuritsa. And we cannot forget about the mysterious Flame Emperor. His true motives are yet unclear. However, I have an idea. I believe the enemy may have been after Flane's blood. The blood that flows through her veins is special. It is extremely rare, and extremely dangerous. If enemies who know the secrets of Flane's blood have appeared, our only option is to leave the monastery and go into hiding.
Brother, wait.
Flane, what are you doing here? You should be resting.
I do not like the path of your thoughts. I do not wish to live in some lonely, remote location where I never get to see anyone. Not ever again.
If we stay here, you may be targeted again. Wouldn't it be better for the two of us to live in peace?
Even if we ran off to some new, secret location, there is no guarantee that they would not find us. That is why I believe it would be safest to stay in the monastery, where we are surrounded by capable knights and professors.
Yeah, let's just endanger everyone who lives here. It's totally fine. No worries. I'm kidding, Flane. I'm kidding. It's okay. You can stay. It's fine.
I see your point. I do. However...
You know it is the only reasonable option. What if I were to join the professor's class?
I mean, obviously I knew this was going to happen, but I had just been thinking recently, what if I didn't make anyone in my class the dancer? What if I made a newcomer the dancer? It'd make Flane the dancer.
You think so too? I am so very pleased to hear that. With a professor like you nearby, I shall be safe no matter what foe should appear.
I see. I am afraid you have a good point.
Afraid.
Professor, Due to my position, I have closely scrutinized everything about you. After all that has happened, I must admit that you are indeed a trusted ally. So what say you? Can I entrust you with Flame's safety?
I suppose I have no choice. What a dick answer. Oh my
I can't help
gosh.
but wonder what the story is about that other girl. She wore the uniform of the academy, but who is she?
Yeah, she's just been wearing that same uniform since last year.
Well done, Professor. I see that I was right to ask your class for assistance. I have been told that Manuela and Flame are recovering nicely, as is Monica.
How? It seems weird that Rhea has no idea that something happened to Monica. Like, you would think as powerful as she is, she could kind of get a sense that something was up.
Monica, the girl you rescued along with Flame, is also a student of the Officers' Academy. However...
She is a student from last year's class. She went missing just before she would have graduated. It never occurred to us that something might have happened to her at the monastery. We assumed she had run away. I never dreamed that we would find her. Not like this.
Monica has asked to rejoin the Black Eagle House once she has fully recovered. Our enemies are still out there, so we must remain cautious and continue our investigation. However, we must also help the students to move on from this incident.
After all, the Battle of the Eagle and Lion will be held in Gronder Field next month.
Yes, the students
Eagle,
will
lion, and
remember
deer,
for
damn
the
it.
rest of their lives. Please guide them so that they may show us their best at the coming battle.
So, you'll be going to Gronder Field next month. You've never been there before, have you? There is unease in the western side of the Empire, but everything east of the capital, Enbar, is stable. Well, there was a noble rebellion a short while ago, but it didn't amount to much. Sorry, but I've got my own mission, and it's far from Gronder Field. The Church has always been quick to make use of those who work for them. What I'm more concerned about is finding out who among us is pulling the strings. Ever since the Rite of Rebirth, strange groups have been seen around Garreg Mach and elsewhere too. There was also an incident where some knights investigating these suspicious strangers turned up dead. Not that it's likely, but if something like that ever happens to me, search this room, every corner, behind every shelf. I'm going to leave something for you. Don't get me wrong, I have no intention of dying. I know it would be too much to ask you to cheer up, but can you at least drop the serious... Well, I'll be. Was that a smile just now? Part 1. White Clouds. Wyvern Moon. Field of the Eagle and Lion. From on high, flocks of wyverns roar in chorus and soar the pristine skies, heading south for the winter. Fodlan's children lend their hands to winter preparations by gathering firewood and catching fish from the river's cool waters. Yet all the while, their gazes are turned skyward, drawn to the magnificent sight above.
These little interludes would feel more significant if the monastery reflected the seasonal changes that they describe. Ooh, we got paralogs.
It's finally time. The Battle of the Eagle and Lion at Gronder Field is this month. Don't tell me you forgot, Teach.
Why don't I have the option to say, yeah, they just told me about it 5 minutes ago. I know.
You're kidding. Didn't Rhea or Sedith fill you in?
Yes, they
So I
did.
do everything myself around here. The Battle of the Eagle and Lion is one of the Academy's annual traditions. It's a huge mock battle between the three rival houses.
But you know all about rivalry battles, Professor. There was one right after you got here, remember?
Yes.
I hear the Battle of the Eagle and Lion will be held in Gronder Field, far away from Garreg Mach.
The house that defeats the most opponents wins. It's a three-way battle that relies heavily on strategy. Sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Hey, Claude, what about Professor Manuela? Do you think she'll be able to join us despite her injuries?
I'm afraid she's sitting this one out, as is Professor Hanneman.
As my persistent rival will not be present, it only goes to follow that I must also sit out this year's battle. Now leave me be, Claude.
Nice.
Oh, don't worry about us. You know you want to see the kids in action.
If it isn't our own Professor Manuela, all things considered, you're looking well.
Thanks to all of you. But I'd only be a burden out there. My students don't need to see me collapsed. Well, not on the battlefield anyway.
Does that mean you really won't be joining us for the battle?
Correct. We will not be participating. Regardless, do not expect victory to come easily, or at all.
Well put. We've spent the past few months pushing our students to their limits. You can see me in the infirmary after they destroy you.
You wish.
We have taught our students well. There is no need to hold back. Challenge them with everything you have.
Weird that Manuela didn't like that after I just said basically the same thing earlier, and she did. Okay, so obviously we're going to be exploring this week. Probably do the paralogue this week, explore again. I guess it could... We're not going to fight multiple times anyway. It could make sense to do the paralogue this week, because that way we maximize the value of our teaching. But I suppose I don't have to make that decision just yet. Let's see, I didn't get... We got some supports. I didn't get anyone to level 20 or particularly close to it. Oh, hey, Flane! Oh, she does start at level 11. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, she started at level 11 in my previous playthrough too, but my average level, I think, was quite a bit lower. Oh well. For some reason she's got sea lances. That's gonna help her a lot with her 8 strength, I'm sure. But it's fine. I think she gets warp eventually. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know. A D flying, which would be interesting if you could use magic on a mount, or a flying mount, but you can't, so... I wonder if I can get her a stride battalion. Have double stride power. That would be very exciting. Alright, well, in any case, time for some supports.
Ah, there's yet another option.
Lorenz, what are you doing?
Oh, hello, Hilda. I'm using these pieces to represent soldiers on the battlefield. This will allow me to better visualize concepts of strategy.
Very good. Is it fun?
Oh, it is utterly engrossing. Look, swap out just certain pieces for others, and the board completely changes. Then, even considering the same types of units, employing different individuals calls for a new set of plans.
Oh, I see. Or I kind of see. It's hard for me to grasp really complex things like this.
Nonsense. It's thanks to your many requests that I've been adapting my fighting style of late. Working to accommodate you has convincingly shown me how essential it is to rethink tactics on a continual basis. After all, the risk of getting hurt is greatly reduced if you are prepared for any situation. So now I will be ready for anything.
So that.
Lorenz, you're so wonderful, I'm at a loss for words. I'm not just saying that to flatter you either, honestly.
Tell me something, Hilda. Did you make all of these ludicrous requests of me purely so that I might have the opportunity to develop myself?
Whoa!
Because if so, I am deeply moved. Thank you for caring so thoughtfully and passionately for my personal growth.
You're welcome.
If you will permit me to return the favor, I do have one request to make of you. Will you hear me out?
Boy, he has.
I'm not usually one for fielding requests, but I can make an exception in your case, I suppose.
He does have way too high an opinion of Hilda's motivations. Far too charitable of you. Maybe that's the way to put it.
I would be so pleased to have the opportunity to observe you in action, in the heat of battle. Would you be so kind as to oblige me?
Oh, very well. You've convinced me. But if it gets too intense, you'll help me out, right?
Hilda's plan may be in the process of backfiring.
Who is it?
It's me, Raphael.
Oh, Raphael! I'll get the door. What are you up to? Oh, whoa! What an enormous crate! And look what's in it. Crystal vials, shiny rocks.
And I got this too.
Oh, what a splendid flower. And so fresh. Hey, wait a second. Is that for your sister?
Yeah, I finally got my hands on something cute, just like you suggested.
That's so nice. But wait a second. Is this that flower from Fodlan's throat?
Of course. I had to run to make it back in time. It was a lot farther than I thought.
You ran all that way? And
Gosh.
while we're on the topic, aren't these all Myron crystals? Such fine carvings on them. They must be the work of a true artisan. It couldn't have been easy getting your hands on these.
I figured I should follow your advice. You know more about what's stylish than I ever could.
Well done. I'm sure your sister will be pleased. All that's left is to make that necklace.
Yeah, about that. I don't know how to put it together. I've spent so long trying to figure it out that the flowers have started wilting. There are only a few nice ones left.
Huh. That's not good. I could try telling you how to make it, but you can't afford to lose any more flowers. Oh, all right. Looks like it's Hilda to the rescue. I'll take it from here.
Seriously? You're really gonna help me?
Sure. I make myself things from time to time, and this is definitely easier than teaching you how. But you owe me for this. I expect to be paid back.
Don't you worry about that. I'll find something really nice to pay you back with.
It couldn't have been easy finding all these trinkets. He must really love his sister. Still, older brothers can be so dense.
Speaking as an older brother, I don't know what she means. Oh. Also, Raphael's straight out of the Game of Thrones TV show, just teleporting all around the world with no consequences to the timeline. Flame? Oh, Flame Seth. Alright. Random.
Flame! There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
You worry too much, brother.
I think a kidnapping is good cause for concern.
Oh.
I was so worried about you I nearly fainted.
Had that not happened, I would have never been allowed to join the professor's class. Even from something so dire, some good did come of it.
That is a dangerous attitude. This world is full of peril. You must be more vigilant. Please understand, I allowed you to enroll
Please understand.
only because I thought it best for your safety.
I am very much aware of that. You wanted to speak to me of something?
Yes, my dear little sister. You are kind beyond all measure, and you are the very picture of innocence. But precisely because of these very fine qualities, I worry about your interactions with the others here. This year's students are particularly eccentric. As your brother, it is my duty to help you with any concerns you may have.
I do appreciate the offer, but all the students and professors have treated me exceptionally well.
Even so, there must be at least some worry. Please, you need not conceal anything from me.
You worry far too much. There is truly nothing to share, and nothing for you to fret over.
Are you absolutely sure? The idea of you suffering in silence is unbearable to me.
Enough! I made it clear that nothing is wrong. I stand by my word. Well, there is one concern that comes to mind.
What is it? Tell me. I will help however I can.
An overbearing.
Somebody
Yeah.
who's determined to get in the way of my friendships with my classmates.
What? That's horrible. Fear not. I will handle this scoundrel.
Oh, Seta.
Just tell me his name.
It is you, brother. Now then, I must be on my way.
What was Flame
Wrecked.
getting at just now? Let's see, I was speaking to her. I asked her to share her concerns, and... was there something else? No matter. Fear not, Flame. Your brother will protect you from all harm.
It's so weird that they, even when they're in just talking to each other, they still refer to each other as brother and sister. Alright. Well, I don't think we're gonna get a whole long way into exploring, but might as well get started. I think, yeah, Flame is already... Oh, she has a unique class? Oh, it's just noble. Okay, fine, whatever. Oh, but she doesn't have a beginner class. Huh. Which means she doesn't have drawback in Magic +2, but that's too bad. Alright, yeah, so we don't need to worry about certifications. That's what I was trying to establish. Yeah, so let's get started on the exploration.
This monastery is more dangerous than I expected. It's likely that our foes have infiltrated the ranks of the teachers. And there may be others of questionable character about as well. If you ask me, there is something amiss about that old man, Tomas.
Yeah, I don't know if he counts as a teacher, and if he doesn't count as a teacher, then what you said is not true. But if he does, then it is.
Professor, do you have a second? It's about Monica. Does she seem off to you? She was in prison for a long while, but she seems to have recovered almost instantly, and she's been bizarrely cheerful. You see what I mean? I wonder if she's straining to seem happy just to make people comfortable.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
And why is she so close to Edelgard anyway?
The Battle of the Eagle and Lion is a free-for-all contest among the three classes.
Free for
If you
all!
are victorious, the Archbishop will no doubt present you with a reward. Just what I thought you'd say.
Along with Flame, we found another female student who went missing last year. But now the combat professor Yuritsa has vanished. His origin begged many questions, so there were plenty of objections to his appointment here. He is apparently from House Rim of the Empire, but he was adopted from another family, or so they say. Anyway, there hasn't been much good to be said about House Rim in recent decades.
That doesn't matter.
What do you say, Adel? Shall we meet up in the library later to... Oh, hello, Professor! Do you need something? I'm a little busy at the moment. Sorry, Professor. I've got a lot of questions to ask Adel here. Since I couldn't graduate last year, I really want to make sure I can do so this year.
Edelgard, does she know about Monica? I keep thinking back to the Black Eagles playthrough. It seems like if she had known, there's some things she would have wanted to not happen, but at the same time, she kind of had to have known, right? That's got to be, for one thing, part of the reason that they spend so much time together. I don't know. It's all very strange. Anyway, Swords Tournament time. I think I'm just gonna probably enter Claude. Claude, good. Yeah, Claude, good.
was a good try.
I don't know why he's in his class outfit and she's in her class outfit in the other sense of the word class. Oh. Does not one round Dimitri, not that it matters.
It was a good try.
Good enough to 1.5 round him. Ooh, doesn't double. He still doesn't need healing.
Never underestimate an outsider.
What about a noble outsider? Man, you really better not underestimate that, right?
It was a good try.
Petra! Haha, yeah! I like that she's the finalist, even though she's worse than the others. Petra deserves it. Petra's great.
That's the golden deer for you.
I think if I had to choose one student from the Black Eagles to recruit, just based on how much I like them, it'd be a tough call between Petra and Dorothea. Actually, Linhardt, although he's much less, like, generally useful. Though he does have warp, so...
Definitely.
I don't know, they're a likable bunch in general.
Having a fishing tournament before the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. At first I couldn't figure out what they were thinking. But the fish are especially tasty this time of year, so I don't question it anymore. Have you had any, Professor? You'd better eat up before it's all gone.
Oh, are we doing that now? Ugh. Great.
Hi, Professor. Want to know something?
Always.
Gronder is in the territory of House Burgleys in the Empire. That's right next to my home, the region of House Varley. Oh, no. What if my parents come to watch? Really? Are you sure? You wouldn't say that if you weren't completely sure, right?
Right.
Why would we go all the way to Gronder Field? It's idiocy to travel that far. It may be a tradition, but it takes forever to get there and is exhausting. So pointless. I guess there's nothing to be done about it. Even by you, Professor.
Holding such a frivolous and downright ridiculous event so close to the Battle of the Eagle and Lion? It's absolutely absurd. Although, they did say we could eat whatever we catch. I'm a sucker for a good meal. I just couldn't resist.
See, Fodlan is big. It's not as big as Elmira is, but it's still pretty big. Travel? I don't know. Never thought about it, I guess.
Professor, as Seteth told you, we're to have a fishing tournament. Given the events of the last month, I believe this is just the sort of distraction we need, staff and student alike. I'm afraid I'm not one for such festivities. I do enjoy a spot of fishing, though. I believe it best that I stick to quietly fishing by myself.
Why?
You know, I'm pretty good at fishing. My older brother used to take me out. Why don't you give it a try, too? They say we can eat whatever we catch.
Sometimes it's nice to dangle a fishing line and let your mind wander. I'd love to spend some time lounging around by a scenic river or lake.
Hey, Professor! Did you hear about the fishing tournament? You get to fish in the pond as much as you want. The more you catch, the more you get to eat.
Are you going to participate in the fishing tournament, Professor?
I fished with frequency back in Bridget. I will not have losing. Will you be trying to fish too?
I'm going to catch me some mighty fish. Just you wait and see.
But they haven't been biting.
What shouting?
Everyone told me I was too loud, so I've been using my quiet voice.
I told my brother I had a craving for some tasty fish. I did not realize when I did so that it would turn into, well, this. My apologies.
Can you believe what Seteth said? Catch some tasty fish for Flame. I'm her bodyguard.
Do you have time for a request?
Bandits are making trouble. Oh no.
Pardon me. Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Young Monica disappeared last year. I thought she had simply run along home, but it turns out she was kidnapped. I can't believe it. How awful it must have been for the poor thing. They say her personality has completely changed, but at least she seems more cheerful than before. Grateful to be alive, perhaps?
Yeah, that's it.
When you feel that first refreshing breeze upon your face, you know it is almost time for the battle of the Eagle and Lion. Gronder Field is within the Empire, but the path there from the monastery necessitates passing through Alliance territory. Fodlan's biggest river, the Aramed River, flows along the border between the Empire and the Alliance. You will have to cross one of the largest bridges upon that river, the Great Bridge of Murden.
Okay. I guess he's just telling us about those things so that when they come up later in the game, we'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that that was a thing.
Why are they having a fishing tournament now? Are they just giving up on the Battle of the Eagle and Lion? You're not condoning this, right? Are you?
I mean, what happens if I just say no and then, like, do it anyway? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
What? If you've got all this free time, shouldn't you be spending it on your students?
It doesn't cost me any free time. Fishing is a free action. Come on, Leonie, get it together.
You know, the Empire used to control all of Fodlan. But after the Civil War, the northern region split off and became the Kingdom. Later, the eastern part of the Kingdom seceded to become the Alliance. There are 3 powers today, but 1,000 years ago, we were all united as one. Even now, among the nobles of the Empire, there are some who dream of reunifying Fodlan.
I received a rare letter from my father recently. He said that he is praying for the Golden Deer House to emerge victorious. Insistently praying. My father attended the Officers' Academy and won a glorious victory in the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. I think he is quite proud of that, even to this day. I suppose that shows how great an honor it truly is.
Lorenz would be the guy who would just stand there and watch that lady, like, fail. She's like, she's a commoner, it doesn't matter. I'm here. Oh wow, she's also just pushed me out of the way, though. Okay, so not anywhere close to done exploring in multiple respects. Lots of activity points to spend. Haven't been to several of the locations, but I think I'm gonna call it here because got a late start on the exploration thanks to supports and stuff. And like I've said before, I would like to keep the episodes a reasonable length. So next episode, we should be able to wrap this up. I'll undoubtedly do the fishing tournament off screen. But yeah, I think we got, you know, like half the conversations or so to have, and then spend the activity points. Hopefully it won't take the whole episodes. Maybe we can like do preps for the paralog battle next episode. Hopefully. Either way, until then.